Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to give you an overview in regards to this topic here. I'm going to try not to go on too much of a rant. I'm going to try not to ramble too much, but I might fail in that regard. This topic is an update in regards to a video that I made back in late April, an incident which went viral. So let me my video didn't go viral, but the whole topic did. So let me remind you of the topic. Do you remember this image here? It did go viral, I think it's fair to say. Here you see Dominick Krankall, 6 years of age. He's from Bridgeport, Connecticut. And on April the 24th, he was severely burned. He suffered second and third degree burns. Now, at the time, it was stated by the mother, and I'm going by memory here. What I'm about to say is going to be close, but maybe 99% accurate, not quite 100% accurate. But it was claimed by the mother that young Dominick, 6 years of age, had been the victim of bullying from at least two of his neighbors, an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old, both brothers, had been bullying Dominick for more than a year. And it culminated in an incident that occurred April the 24th, in accordance with the mother's statements at the time, that one of the boys, or both of the boys, had tricked Dominick, and they told him to come round the corner, to go round the side of a building, which he did. Dominick did. At which point, one of the boys, an 8-year-old boy, allegedly threw a ball. I think it was described as a tennis ball at the time, but perhaps it was described as a football. I'm not sure. But a ball that had been doused in gasoline, doused in petrol, and set alight. And apparently, according to the mother's statements initially, I think I'm right in saying, the 8-year-old boy purposefully threw that tennis ball, doused in petrol, doused in gasoline, on fire, directly towards Dominick's face, directly towards his head. And then he and whoever else was present, I believe the initial accusations were that the 11-year-old brother, the 8-year-old and the 11-year-old brothers, which were neighbours of Dominick, that they both left the scene and left Dominick to die. Further, I believe I'm right in saying, I could have this slightly wrong, but I believe I'm right in saying that Dominick's mother also claimed that the boys had threatened to burn down, to burn the mother, and also to attack the house. These were threats that were made against Dominick's neighbours, an 8-year-old boy and an 11-year-old boy. Now, as I say, the subject went viral. We were all extremely sympathetic towards young Dominick. Why wouldn't we be? He suffered horrendous burns. He'd been bullied by these vicious psychopaths, his next-door neighbours that had ganged up on him, bullied him for more than a year. Of course, we all felt sympathy for him. And, to a degree, we still do. But it seems like perhaps we weren't told the correct story. In fact, it seems like perhaps we were told a pack of lies. So a part of the situation I've forgotten to mention is that a GoFundMe raised a very, very large amount, $500,000, or indeed more than $500,000 were raised to cover the costs of the medical care and attention that Dominick would require. Thankfully, he probably doesn't need $500,000 worth of medical care. He's made a very good recovery. So here's a recent picture of Dominick. He's recovered very well. So he definitely has some redness, some pinkness on his face. But I would say, personally, from my opinion, not overly severe. Not overly severe. And I would hope that that redness would dissipate as he grows older, as the injuries continue to heal. So I would hope that the redness dissipates. But even if it doesn't, it's frankly, Dominick, it's not the end of the world. A lot of white people suffer from rosacea and or other skin ailments. So it's not the end of the world, and it is a fantastic recovery. Here is Dominick's mother, and here is the mother of the next door neighbor. Her name's Laura Giacobbe. Okay, so I've just given you an overview, a recap of what happened. I've been pretty accurate, I think, but there has been a development, and that development is that the police have released a video, and we're about to play this 1 minute excerpt of the video in a moment. And the police have concluded that there was no wrongdoing in the case. This video that we'll play in just a second will show Dominick here in the middle, holding a football in the green top. That's 6-year-old Dominick, the young boy who was very badly burnt but has since recovered, as we see. Just a few red marks there. He's coming along tremendously well. We see young Dominick here, and we see, I believe the boy in the white shirt is the 8-year-old, well, the neighbor, and he's the 8-year-old, I believe. So we can see this photo here. So the neighbors, here is the mother, Laura Giacobbe, and I believe they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 young men. They have 5 sons. If I'm getting that correct, and I believe that this is the 8-year-old boy. Here's another brother who was not involved in the incident, and we will see an 11-year-old boy here in the black shirt. His name's Lorenzo, if I have that right. So Lorenzo is the brother of the boy in the white shirt, who is an 8-year-old, I believe. And as this guy pointing in the video here will tell us in a second when I press play, the 8-year-old is described as being the main bully. So Dominick's mother has said both the 8-year-old and the 11-year-old have bullied Dominick for more than a year. But I believe the 8-year-old boy has been tarnished with the label of being the primary aggressor, the primary bully of young Dominick. Let's watch this video.
The one in the white is the so-called bully playing with Dominick Krankall.
Okay, and we saw 2 gasoline jerry cans here. Now this is where the incident happens, and it does happen out of the camera. So it is surveillance footage at the family home. So we see fire. Young Dominick is on fire all of a sudden. His legs, his face. He panics, he runs. So the boy in the white shirt, the 8-year-old boy, I believe, he's got his hands in his pockets. He doesn't seem to be in any way an aggressor. The incident happened. Dominick is on fire. The 8-year-old boy panics, as an 8-year-old boy would. And the 8-year-old boy tries to get out of the way. He doesn't know what to do. The 8-year-old boy is not in a position of knowledge to assist. He's not able to assist. He's an 8-year-old boy. Now that young man here, I believe Lorenzo, I believe 11 years of age, he's done very well. See? He's done very well. He's kind of monitoring the situation. He sees that there's a problem. He sees the situation happen. He remains calm, I'm going to say. And he did what he could. He immediately puts his hands, his bare hands on Dominick's face to try to, to temper the flames, to do what he can to put the flames out. I don't know if that was effective, but if it wasn't effective, it's not really his fault. I mean, I would imagine that it's not easy to put out gasoline fires. But yeah, I'm going to point this out here. There's a jerry can, another jerry can. So this is gasoline here. There is no question that these boys had access to gasoline. We see dirt bikes and all of this, and frankly, I like seeing the dirt bikes and the dune buggies. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Good for the parents for having the opportunity, for giving the opportunity for their sons to play around with these things, if that's indeed the case. Maybe it isn't the case, but I kind of feel that it is. But I have to say, parents, Laura and I think your husband, you guys have fucked up, man. You fucked up badly. Just in one way, and that way is a very serious way, by allowing your boys and even your neighbor's boy to have access to gasoline. I mean, what the fuck are you thinking, guys? Okay, so your boys are good. Your boys are in the clear. Your sons are in the clear, and it's good, I think, that the parents or the mother seemingly has come forward and really saved the boys from having been accused of being not only bullies, but of being psychopaths, of having purposefully set a 6-year-old boy on fire. Yeah, that was not the case. That did not happen. The 6-year-old was not purposefully set up. Regardless as to what what Dominick's mother had said, seemingly she was full of shit. She was full of lies. So the parents have done well by bringing this video forward, although perhaps that was out of their hands. Perhaps that was the sole responsibility of the police. I'm very glad that the boys are in the clear. It would be awful to be called a horrendous bully. That would be awful. But further than that, to be accused of having purposefully attempted to burn and potentially kill a 6-year-old boy, those are terrible, terrible, terrible accusations to have made. And I'm very glad that these boys have shared such accusations. And this really does put young Lorenzo, if I have that right, in a very good light. He's acted, as I say, particularly well, you know, like a hero, really. He's tried. He risked his own well-being to try to help the 6-year-old boy. You know, he did the right thing. He acted very well, in my opinion. I knew I was going to go on a bit of a ramble here. So where are we at? Well, we're at the position where the police say there's no wrongdoing in the case. I would argue with that in two ways. Let's say there's two ways to argue with that. Number one, the parents of this family here are to blame, in my opinion. The parents should not have allowed any of the children to have access to gasoline. That's a wrongdoing. That should not have been the case. Another area of wrongdoing, it is, I'm going to say, in my opinion, based on my speculation, blah, 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 that the Dominick's mother, Maria Rua, is absolutely in the wrong to have made false claims, seemingly, potentially, to allegedly, to make false claims against these two boys, to call them bullies when they're not bullies, to say that they purposefully attacked Dominick when they did no such thing, to say that they threw a ball in his face when they did no such thing, a ball that was on fire, they did no such thing. To say that they threatened you and to threaten to burn your house down when they did no such thing, I presume. All of these things are very, very wrong. They're highly immoral. I would dare say, defamation would be my guess. I'm not a lawyer. I would be thinking that defamation may be something that is entirely relevant. I don't know that. So Dominick's mother was very much in the wrong. Now Dominick's mother profited from this situation. They received more than $500,000 in donation via their GoFundMe. That's profiting from not only the dreadful tragedy that befell her son, but she seemingly, from my estimation, could be wrong, but she was manipulating the situation. She was misrepresenting the actions of her two neighbors' boys at their expense. You know, these two boys were called bullies, and the world was told that they purposefully tried to set a 6-year-old boy on fire. Why did you do that, Dominick's mother, Maria Rua? Why did you do that? Why did you throw those two boys under the bus like that? You know, which is not quite the right term. You fucking defamed them. Why would you do that? These are good boys. certainly Lorenzo is a good boy. I can tell you that. I'm sure the 8-year-old is also a good boy. He wasn't in a position to help. He was 8 years of age. But the 11-year-old did very well. And you defamed them, in my opinion, as far as I can see. And with that, the family is pursuing or considering pursuing legal action, which I would think is a good thing, other than the fact that the kids had access to gasoline. So, I don't know, man. If this is a situation of tit for tat, the mother of the 2 boys, or actually the 5 boys, is right to stick up for her boys, to stick up for her family, to stick up for truth. She's right in that regard. Where she and seemingly her husband, her partner, the father of the boys, I'm guessing, is... I don't mean that to sound the wrong way, by the way. But where these guys fucked up is by allowing any children, their children and the neighbours' children, to have access to gasoline. Big, big, big fuck up. But that doesn't make Maria Rua's actions good or, in any way. Seemingly, as my estimation goes, she was telling fibs, perhaps in a bid to garner money through donations. That's really all I need to go through at this point. I have rambled, but this is the 3rd time I've made this video, and I ramble each time, so it's going to have to end up being a ramble video, I'm afraid. So look, thank you to the commenter that pointed out on my video that there had been developments. Thank you for that. It is a very interesting case. It's no longer a sad case. Well, I guess it is a sad case, but thankfully Dominick has made what I would consider to be a full recovery, so that's tremendous. That's great news. Hopefully these 2 parents have learned their lesson about gasoline, and hopefully this mother's going to get some comeuppance in regards to spreading vicious lies about Neighbours. Well done, Lorenzo. You're a good lad. And, well done, the 8-year-old boy, too. It's not your fault, 8-year-old boy, But anyway, there we go. There's my video. Take care.